Hi guys, let's start a new chapter, which is chapter number 19. It's called Mean and Median, but we are doing this in class 9 only for ungrouped data. For group data, this will be done in class 10 in the ICSE syllabus. So let's look at this new chapter, Mean and Median. We've done basic mean earlier in class 7th as well. Mean, arithmetic mean, average, they basically mean the same thing. They have the same meaning. What does mean and why do we calculate mean? So for example, let's take the example of the class marks. So in case in an exam, there are 20 students who scored, let's say 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, 12 marks. The teacher wants to calculate what was the average performance of the class to understand how the class has done. That's why you calculate mean. It's basically a measure of the central tendency, how people have performed. Next, how do you calculate mean? You take the sum of all observations and you divide it by the number of observations. So in the formula form, it is written as mean, which is written as x with a bar on top. So x bar is equal to 1 upon n, which is dividing by the number of observations, summation xi, I going from 1 to n, right? So what the complicated way of writing it, the same thing can be written as mean is equal to 1 upon n summation of x. This is read as summation, right? So summation of x upon n is basically the mean. This is I going from 1 to n. So if I is going from 1 to 6, then you are looking at basically sum of 6 numbers, right? So this, in this case, n is 6. That's basically it. Nothing else matters. I forgot to put the 1 upon n. Perfect. Let's look at the question. Basically, it's the sum of all observations divided by the number of observations. So let's look at it. There are a couple of properties of this mean. The first one is sum of deviations from the mean is 0. Now, deviation, what does that mean? Deviation means the difference from the observation. So in this case, first calculate the mean. This is 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 6, 12, 12 plus 8, 20. So mean will be 20 upon 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 observation points. So the mean is 5. Now let's calculate the observation minus mean. So 2 minus 5, that's negative 3. 4 minus 5, that's negative 1. 6 minus 5, that's 1. 8 minus 5, that's 3. Let's add the negative numbers together. That's negative 4. Let's all the positive numbers together. Positive 4. This is 0. So summation of, let's write it here. This is equal to summation of x minus x bar, which means sum of deviations from the mean is always 0. That's the first property. Let's look at the next 4 properties. So if I were to add 3 to all the observations, so instead of 2, I will write 2 plus 3, which is 5. The mean of this data we already calculated was 5. All right, 2, 4, 6, 8. The mean we calculated was 5. If I add 3 to all the data points, so this will be 7, 6 plus 3, 9, 8 plus 3, 11. If I add this, this is 11 plus 9, 20, 20 plus 7, 27, 27 plus 5, 32. 32 divided by 4, 8. What happened to the mean? Yes, I added 3 to the mean as well. So if you add the same number to all the data points, mean also gets added by the same number. Let's try this if it works for subtraction. So 2 minus 1, 1, 4 minus 1, 3. This time I'm subtracting 1 from all data points. 6 minus 1, 5, 8 minus 1, 7. So we tried it with adding a number. Let's try it with subtracting a number. So I have subtracted 1 from all the 4 data points. Let's find the mean of this. So that's 7 plus 3, 10, 15 and 1, 16. So this is 16 divided by 4, which is equal to 4. So what did I do to 5 to get me 4? Yes, I subtracted 1, which means if you add a number to all the data points, mean also gets added by the same number. If you subtract a number to all the data points or all the observations, the mean also you subtract the same number, right? 5 minus 1, that's 4. So new mean is 5 plus 3. New mean is 5 minus 1. Next, multiply all observations by 3. So 2 into 3, 6, 4 into 3, 12, 6 into 3, 18, 8 into 3, 24. Let's add. So this is 8 plus 2, 10, 16 plus 4, 20, 2, 3, 4, 6. 60 divided by 4, which is 15. Which means the new mean is original mean multiplied with the multiplication whatever you use. So if we multiplied all numbers by 3, my mean also gets multiplied with 3. Let's see if this works for division as well. So 2 divided by 2. So I am dividing all observations by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So let's see what's the what's the mean of these number. 4, 7, 9 and 10. 10 divided by 4, which is 2.5, which means my mean gets divided by 2, which is 2.5. So the new properties are, if you add a number to all the observations, mean also you add the same number. If you subtract a number from all the observations, mean also gets subtracted by the same number. If you multiply the same number with all the observations, mean also gets multiplied with the same number. If you divide all the observations by the same number, then the mean also gets divided by the same number. So let's look at some questions now. So question number 2. Let's start with that. It says find the mean of the first 6 natural numbers. So the 6 natural numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So mean will be 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 divided by 6. So that's 6, 11, 15, 18, 20, 21. So this is 21 upon 6, 3 into 2, 3 into 7. So this is 3.5. So the mean of the first 6 natural numbers is 3.5. Next, find the mean of x plus 3, x plus 5, x plus 7, x plus 9 and x plus 11. So mean will be equal to x plus 3 plus x plus 5 plus x plus 7 plus x plus 9 plus x plus 11 divided by the total number of observations, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is x, 2, 3, 4, 5x plus 3 plus 5, 8, 8 plus 7, 15, 15 plus 20, 35. 35 upon 5. So this is equal to 5x upon 5, which is x, plus 35 upon 5, which is 7. So the mean of this observation is x plus 7. Good, let's look at the next one. The next one is question number 6. It says if different values are given here, find the mean and the value of summation of x minus x bar. So let's first calculate the mean. For that, we will have to add them up. I've already put it in the table form, so let's add it. 8 plus 4, 12, 7, 19, plus 7, 26, plus 8, 34, plus 6, 40, 48, 54, 59, 60. 0 with a 6 carry. 6 plus 9, 15, 20, 23, 24, 25, 27, 29, 29 plus 8, 37, plus 1, 38. 3 carry, 3, 4, 5. So this is 58. So mean is equal to summation of x upon number of data, in this case 58 upon how many points do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. Therefore, mean is equal to 5.8. So the mean of all these observations is 5.8. Next, they want us to find the summation of the deviation. We know summation of deviation is equal to 0. And we don't need to show it. We can directly write this is a property. So the value of summation of deviation is 0. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we do is question number 7. It says mean of 15 observations is 32. So mean is given equal to 32. Find the mean of each observation is increased by 3. So new mean will be equal to old mean plus 3, because every observation is being increased by 3. That's the property we talked about. So that would be 35. Next, decrease by 3, which means new mean will be equal to old mean, which is 32 minus 3. In this case, 3, so this is 29. So the new mean will be 29. Right, it decreased by 3, right? Oh, okay. I have written the question wrong. As per the question, this is 7. My mistake. So this is 7. So this would be not 3. This would be 7. I just checked the textbook. This is not 3. This is 7. So this value is 32 minus 7, which is 25. Let's look at the next one, which says multiplied with 2. So new mean will be equal to old mean multiplied with 2. In this case, 64. Next, divided by 0.5. So new mean will be equal to old mean, which is 32, divided by 0.5, which is again equal to 64. Next, new mean is so the mean each observation is increased by 60%, which means new mean is equal to old mean plus 60% of old mean. In this case, it would be equal to 1.6 times the old mean, which is 32. Let's calculate 32 into 16, which is 6 into 2, 12, 18 plus 1, 19. This is 2, this is 3. So this will be 2, 9 plus 2, 11, 41.2. 1 second, 2, 9 plus 2, 11, not 41, 51.2. Sorry, this is 51.2. Let me rewrite this. 32, 16, 6 into 2, 12, 19, 2, 3. 2, 9 plus 2, 11, 51.2. Correct. That's the correct answer. So let's look at the next one. The next one is if it is decreased by 20%. So new mean will be equal to old mean minus 20% of old mean. In this case, we are looking at 80% of the old mean, which is 80% of 32. 32 into 8, 240 and 16, 256. So that would be 25.6. So we don't need to show any calculation. This is basically the property that we talked about in the previous slide. Good, let's look at the next one. The next one is question number 8. The mean of 5 numbers is 18. If one number is excluded, the mean of the remaining numbers is 16. Find the excluded number. So we know mean is equal to summation x upon n. In this case, n is 5, mean is 18. So 18 is equal to summation x upon 5. In this case, summation x is equal to 5 into 18, which is 90. So the sum of the 5 digits or 5 numbers is 90 if one number is excluded. So when a number is excluded, what we get is mean is equal to summation x upon 4. In this case, the mean of the remaining numbers is 16. So 16 is equal to summation x upon 4, which is summation x is equal to 64. So the sum of 4 numbers is 64, sum of 5 numbers is 90. Therefore, the excluded number is equal to 90 minus 64, which is equal to 26. Right, this is sum of 5 numbers, this is sum of 4 numbers, which means the fifth number is 90 minus 64, that's 26. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we are doing is question number 10. It says the mean of 100 observations is 40. So here n is given equal to, n is given equal to 100 and mean is given equal to 40. It is found that the observation 53 was misread as 83. Okay, so this is equal to the incorrect mean. We want us to find the correct mean. So this is incorrect mean. So mean is equal to summation x upon n, which means 40 is equal to incorrect sum upon 100, which means incorrect sum of all the numbers is 100 into 40, which is 4000. Right, that's fine. So this is the incorrect sum. let's figure out what number was taken wrongly and what do we figure out. So correct sum will be equal to incorrect sum minus the number which was taken incorrectly. In this case, it was taken incorrectly as 83, but we will have to add the correct number, which is 53. Yes, so from incorrect, we subtracted the incorrect number and added the correct number. So that's the correct sum, which means correct sum is equal to 4000 minus 83 plus 53. So this is basically 4000 minus 30, which is equal to 3970. So that's the correct sum, which means mean will be equal to 3970 upon number of observations, which is 100. So this is the correct mean. This is equal to, correct mean is equal to 39.70. That's what they wanted us to find. Correct mean is 39.70. Good. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we have is question number 11. The mean of 200 items was 50. Later on, it was discovered that two items were misread as 92 and 8 instead of 192 and 88. Now let's write this again. So incorrect mean is equal to incorrect sum upon number of observations, in this case 200. So let's put the values. So 50 is equal to incorrect sum upon 200, which means incorrect summation of x is equal to 200 into 50, which is equal to 10,000. Now let's calculate the correct sum. So correct summation of x would be equal to 10,000, out of which we'll have to subtract something, subtract the wrong numbers and add the correct numbers. So they were misread as 92, which means 92 is the wrong number, and misread as 8, which means 8 is the wrong number, and add the correct number. So the correct number is 192 and 88. So I have added the correct numbers and I have subtracted the wrong numbers. Yes, that's correct. So this is 10,000, 92 and 192, which means we are adding 100, and negative 8 plus 80, which means we are adding 80. So this correct sum is 10,180. That's the correct sum. Next, we need to calculate the correct mean, which means correct mean is equal to correct sum, which is 10,180 divided by the total number, which is 200, which means this is 50.9. So that's the final answer. Good. Let's look at the next question. The next question that we are doing is question number 12. It says find the mean of 75 numbers if the mean of 45 of them is 18 and the mean of the remaining ones is 13. Okay, so let's look at the question. 75 numbers. So total n is equal to 75. Mean of 45. So for 45 numbers, what we have is mean of 45 numbers. Let's call it 1 is equal to 18, which will be equal to sum of 45 numbers upon 45, which means summation x of 45 numbers is equal to 45 into 18. Let's multiply 45 into 18. This would be 8 into 5, 40. 8 into 4, 32 plus 4, 36. 5 and 4, 0, 6 plus 5, 11. This is 810. So summation of x of 45 numbers, let's call it x, summation of x1, which is for 45 numbers. So summation of x1 is 410. Let's look at the remaining numbers. So if out of 75, 45 numbers are here, for remaining, how many numbers remain? Out of 75, 45 are gone, for remaining 33. numbers. So only 30 numbers remain. So mean of x2, so that's called that data point x2. This mean is 13, which is equal to summation of x2 upon 30, which means summation of x2 is equal to 13 into 30, which is 13 into 3, 39. So this is 390. Next, therefore, total mean, this is for all the observations, will be equal to summation x1 plus summation x2 upon 75. Yes, total number of data and sum of 45 numbers and sum of 30 numbers. So total mean will be equal to summation of x1, which is 810, summation of x2, which is 390 upon 75. So that's 1100, 1200. 1200 upon 75, which is equal to 16. Yes, 75 into 1, 75, 25 and 4. That's correct, 16. Therefore, total mean is equal to 16. That's the final answer. Good, let's look at the next question. The next question that we are doing is question number 13. It says the mean weight of 120 students is 52.75 kg. If the weight of 50 of them is 51 kg, find the mean weight of the remaining students. A similar question as last time. So let's look at this. Okay, so for all students, we are looking at all students, which is n is equal to 120. So mean is equal to summation x upon 120. In this case, mean is 52.75, which is equal to summation x upon 120. Let's calculate summation x. So this is summation x, this is for all students, is equal to 52.75 multiplied with 120. Let's multiply 5275 multiplied with 12. 5 into 2, 10, 14 plus 1, 15, 2 into 2, 4 plus 1, 5 and 10. Yes, let me reconfirm 10,400. Yeah, that's correct. This is 5, 7, 2, 5. This is 0, 5 plus 5, 10, 12 plus 1, 13, 3, 6. So this is 6330 kg. So that's the mean, that's the sum of weight of 120 students. Next, for 50 students, right? We're talking about 50 students for which data is given. Next, N1 is equal to 50. Let's calculate the sum of the weight of these 50 students. The mean is given as 51. So 51 is equal to sum of 51 students upon 50, which means sum of the weight of 51 students is equal to 51 multiplied with 50. That's 5 into 1, 5. 5 into 5, 25. This is 2550 kilogram. That's the sum of sum of weight of 50 students. How many students still remain? Out of 120, if 50 students are already taken care of, what remains is 70 students. So for balance 70 students, right? That's 0.9. N2 is equal to 70. We know balance mean mean for the remaining students would be equal to total sum, which means summation of x minus summation of x1 upon 70. This will be their sum of the weight of these remaining 70 students. So total weight 6330 minus weight of the students, which is already given, which is 2550 upon 70. Let's subtract 6330 2550. 0, 13 minus 5, 8. That's 12 minus 5, 7. 5 minus 2, 3. So this is 3780 upon 70 kg. Let me erase this. So 3780 would mean 0 and 0 gets cancelled. 7, 1, 7, 5. So that 35, 28, 54. Therefore, mean weight of remaining students is equal to 54 kg. Good, that brings me to the last question of this exercise that I do with you, which is question number 14. It says mean marks of boys and girls in an exam are 70 and 30. So mean marks of boys is equal to 70. Mean marks of girls is equal to 73. If the mean marks of all the students in that exam is 71, okay, so next, total mean is equal to 71. Find the ratio of the number of boys to the number of girls. Okay, let number of boys be B. Next, let number of girls be equal to G. So let's figure out the ratio that we already know, which is summation of mean for boys is equal to sum of the all the marks of boys upon number of boys. Yes, that's correct. And similarly, for mean marks of girls will be equal to summation of all the marks of girls upon number of girls. Let's put the values that we know. So this will give us mean marks of boys, which is 70 is equal to summation of all the marks of boys upon B, which means summation of all the marks of all the boys is 70B. Next, similarly for the girls, it is 73 is equal to summation of marks for all the girls upon number of girls, which means summation of all the marks of girls is equal to 73G. So now we know the total marks of all the boys, we know the total marks of all the girls, we know the mean. Let's add this. So what we have is total mean is equal to summation of marks of boys plus summation of marks of girls upon total number of students, in this case boys plus girls. Let's put it in the value that we know. Total mean is 71. Summation of xb. Summation of xb we calculated as 70b plus summation of xg we calculated as 73g upon b plus g. On cross multiplying, I get 71b plus 71g is equal to 70b plus 73g. Let's take b on one side, g on one side. So 71b minus 70b is equal to 73g minus 71g. In this case, b is equal to 2g. Right? That's fine. B is equal to 2g. They want it in the ratio form. Therefore, b upon g is equal to 2 upon 1. This is in the fraction form. Let's write it in the ratio form. B is to g is equal to 2 is to 1. Interesting question. You could put a small star on it. Basically the same formula applied again and again. That brings me to an end of this video. I have marked some homework questions 1, 3, 4, 9, 15 and 16. Take care. Be safe. If you have any queries, feel free to write into me. Bye bye.